Okay, so the plan for today is to continue using ChatGPT, and this time let's try to write a Copilot but for the fish shell, basically for the terminal. This will be something like when you type in a command and you will press a key combination, it will use what you already wrote in the terminal to suggest an auto-completion. So that would be the goal for this small project. And yeah, basically I already did the ChatGPT, like getting the key, because yesterday it was giving me a lot of captchas to solve, so let's not do that again. It was painful. So yeah, basically, as I said, you run a command, it should give you an autocomplete for that command. So yeah, you can start then. So let's see. So we have to create, and yeah, I mean I chose fish because this is what I'm using, and yeah, we could do it for bash or something else, but since it's easier to test it, let's use this. I mean, of course, it has different functions and syntax. Like we can have, for example, I mean I don't even know, but it has ifs. Well, yeah, I mean bash also has ifs, but it has some other syntax sometimes for certain stuff. So yeah, basically, I mean fish for bash users. Probably this is a good page to see that the differences. So yeah, basically, as I said, we need a keybind that will do something. So keybinds in fish, you use the bind keyword. So let's see, bind. Okay, so we can have the mode like the key. I would be interested to see some examples though. So for example, I mean the examples are the best to get going. So this is how exit is implemented basically. When you press Ctrl D, it runs exit. So we can do something like, uh, let's say Ctrl N. I don't think Ctrl N is used for anything here. And what we want to do when we press Ctrl N, it's like in Vim, we want to call to a function basically. So let's see how we can define a function. Maybe it's this one. Okay, so let's just copy paste this, and let's say we do something like this. So now if we source the file, yeah, like it would be nice to give you auto completion like this, but I haven't found any info on how to add this stuff. But I mean, maybe it is possible to like add it with a different color, but because it's still text, but if I press enter, it's just this. So yeah, I don't know how to actually do it. So I mean, if we source this and press Ctrl N, we should get uh, some like this function executed. Though I think it's just like this. If we source it and press Ctrl N, we should get the hello. Okay, so instead of say hello, it should be something like generate auto-completion, generate completion, and here we should call to generate completion. Well, the first thing that we need to do now that we have this function is to get the command line. So command line is basically the current stuff that you wrote in the command line, right? So basically to get it, we just need to call to command line. But let's see, maybe there are other interesting options here. I mean, we have replace to replace the current command line. We have insert, like something like append, maybe it's used for auto suggestions. Okay, so I think that what we actually just need to do is to create a variable set and let's say current command, and here we can do command line. I don't know if what minus p means. I don't think we need it. And let's echo it, see what happens. So let's say ls dash press. Okay, yeah, it gives us the command. So right now we have it. Let's also do the command line dash r. So this sets the current command. Basically, it replaces it. So we can replace it with hello. So now if we source the current file and we do again this thing, it replaces it with hello. I mean, it overrides the text because it's writing on top of it, but yeah, something like this would be the main body. Now let's think about. Okay, let's actually go to OpenAI API. Let's see. Oh my god. Let's go to a quick start. Let's use curl. So to make an API request, pretty easy. We need to, well, actually let's just copy paste this thing. Let's put it here. So yeah, basically we provide the API URL, then it's application JSON, we give the token. Man, yesterday when I was generating the token, it put me to a 10-step captcha and it was so weird. And imagine that it wasn't like failing. If you were failing on one step, it was telling you at the end if you failed or not. And literally some captchas, like I swear you have to be an AI to solve them. Like I don't understand. Like you literally have to be an AI to, like a bot, to be able to solve them. It should be, if you fail them, then it means you're human. Like yeah. Anyway, here we should say GPT-4 because it's cooler. Then for the system prompt, we are gonna create again a system prompt like yesterday, and here we are gonna pass the current command basically, right? So something like that. So yeah, let's see. We have to put this into a function. So let's say function. Well, I mean, I would rather call this autocomplete or something like Copilot. Fish pilot. Fish pilot. Okay, this one would be OpenAI chat function OpenAI chat. This would be end. So yeah, we do the curl. It's to be honest, it looks better if you put. I'm not sure if this thing works, but let's. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So we do the curl, and here we get. Do we see how it looks? Okay, we actually see a response, right? So this is the expected response. Anyway, so we have like choices and then a list, and inside of this is the message with the content. So maybe some stuff is, let's see, GPT-4. Some extra arguments here would be nice. So I think like all of these are stuff that we can put inside of the body, because I mean that's how the Python API was working, so I would assume it's similar. Yeah, I don't even know what I was thinking to add, but whatever. So we get the response. We can do something like set the response. Though, yeah, it's well, let's see. I mean, if we source the file, I think we should be able to call to OpenAI chat like this. But we didn't print it. Well, anyway. Yeah. We should also make curl be quiet, because okay, so we get the response like we wanted. Interesting. So basically, the only thing I'm curious about is if we can do something like this just to format the code a bit, because it looks really bad. Something like okay, let's. Although I mean the like the JSON doesn't really matter, we can put whatever. Oh, this could be a bit more indented. Okay, something like that. This would be the command. Though I think for fish doesn't even matter if we put, let's see, I don't even know if it matters. Yeah, it does. Well, anyway, doesn't like that. It wants something like this. Maybe it wants something like that. Okay, so I mean whatever. Could do maybe something like this. Yeah, so we have the response. Now something else that we can do with the response is to actually parse it with JQ and get just the message. But first, let's see inside of this thing for functions, how do we get, the arguments, because we are gonna need, when we have argv, which is like all the arguments, I guess, and the arguments is like one. So set, well, we can put something like this here, or we cannot. This was the only thing for functions. That's interesting, but I don't know how to actually say that. I mean, if we use here one, still don't show it. So maybe it's because we are using this type of quotes, but it shouldn't really matter, I think. Let's see if we can have variables or something. So with set to erase a variable. Okay. I mean, yeah, we can do set. So what I was thinking is to wait, set. Yeah, sure. GPT-4 set a system prompt, maybe set user prompt should be argv then, and let's set data after, and this should be something like this, and let's echo data just to see if we actually get something. So we can source it, then call it with an argument. See, like it doesn't do that. So I mean, yeah, we can delete this thing first, just to not do we really need to use okay, let's do set data. I mean, let's keep that. So let's do something like this. Then for model, let's use escape sequences. Then let's have messages, and again we need even this thing needs escapes. Yeah, like let's make the JSON a bit smaller. Here we put the role. Then role is system prompt, basically, and the content we give it from the system prompt. Okay, let's put and again for the user we should have then the content, this thing, okay, and at the end, yeah, I think I missed, this should be also like this. So I think now it looks better. Let's see if we resource it and do hello. Yeah, it looks okay. So now instead of all this stuff we can put data. So yeah, and I mean for the system prompt, no. Okay. So the next thing, yeah, would be just to parse the responses. So as we saw here, we need to get the choices. Then we get the first one and the message and the content. So to get that, let's do set message and yeah, it's choices, the first one, then message, and then content. So I mean it got it. And dash R, if we look at my GQ, dash R is like raw strings or something. So raw output. So it like usually when you, let's say we still have this thing, right? So if we do JQ, this should format it. And if we do like model, it gives us with double quotes. But if we use dash R, it gives us just the string. So that's the idea. Okay. So here we get just the message. And I think we want to return message, right? Hopefully it works. Okay, but yeah, we are gonna need a new system prompt. And here, get the current command. We don't need to echo. Oh yeah, curl. I think it's silent. So we can do curl dash s. Okay, so here we get the response, and we should set the command line to the response. Okay, so now we need to think about a system prompt. That's the point. So it should be probably something simple, like you are a helpful assistant that is tasked with giving a completion for a command, with giving a completion for a user input command for the fish shell. Now, of course, it would be nice to have it somewhere here, though. But let's keep it like this. So, anyway, I think we can use this just to make it. For example, mm, let's give it some examples, like for example, and then let's put them line by line. For example, the first one, then the second one. Let's put more. Wow, how many did it? Wow, 800. Dude, this is. I mean, why would you need. Anyway. So we have this thing, and you should respond with ls-l city, and then like hire directory. Make sure to respond with the full command. If you don't have a good response, just respond with the user input. I think that's a fair one. So yeah. I mean, why not just try it? So let's source the file, and then let's type ls and control N. Oh no. So we cannot return, or what does it mean? Oh, it's we have to return the value or something. Okay, and ls. So maybe we want to echo the message, and does it still work? Open a chat ls. Why was it null? Echo response. So I put something. Okay, I mean, let's see, because probably echo data didn't look good for some reason. So let's try to check. Okay, so it doesn't work. Fine, let's make then this thing into like some sort of so this should be like this. I mean, let's use backticks, because usually for code and stuff you have backticks. CD, you should CD, I don't know, like doesn't really matter. And for the last one, make sure to respond with the full command. Here I think we can leave that as is and then end it. So now if we try again, now it's fine for that, and we can echo the message. So let's source it and let's try again just with ls, and it gives us ls-l. That's nice. If we say cd config, interesting. I mean, it's let's go like this, see what it gives us. I mean, sure enough. Now obviously it would be interesting to like collect some information about the current system when giving the system prompt, maybe. Now like expand on this and say, okay, in this folder we have like code related projects, and maybe like, but then it would like turn into something that it's not meant to do, basically, because it's just command completion is not really okay. I want to cd into like cool compiler, that project, and it says, oh, I know where it is, and it gives you the path. Like that would be something a bit different, maybe. I could be like a personal assistant inside of shell. Maybe even have like call to it like no, yeah, because I started a while back to work on something called scuffris, but I don't think I have it. Scuffris, no. Yeah, because it was like but it's made in Python, so not really, although it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was using like ChatGPT to just chat in the terminal, but would be interesting to see like what system information you have to provide to it to make it actually useful, because now, yeah, I mean, the completions are okay, but they are like based on what other people are have used on the internet, right? It's not really based on your custom environment. So that would be maybe something that we have to do. But yeah, that would be interesting to see how to solve. Maybe in the system prompt, it does some scanning, or like when you set up the tool, like when you install it, it asks you for some stuff, and based on that, it can generate better like suggestions for the comment. But let's see, like, because we used it like this, but let's see how about just writing ls and then typing the thing. It's interesting. So I mean, I have no idea what a more complicated command would be. Now, yeah, obviously it's a bit biased towards fish things because we said that it's for fish. So that's why I'm thinking, maybe if we add some more information, would be more interesting. So actually, yeah, let's see, like, what would be interesting to add. Like maybe the folders, or something more interesting would be what happens if you try to autocomplete something that's not there. I guess doesn't work. Echo hello world. I mean, yeah, makes sense. But let's do something. Although yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because this is like just shell completions. You cannot really have system information. But I really like that idea of trying to build a context about your system and then maybe have something like update, like say update and it runs, the command for your operating system. That would be interesting. So maybe that's another thing we can do. But I think that like just for Copilot, although even Copilot takes context from like the code base. So maybe something that would make sense for a fish pilot is to take context from, this is how you would do it, I think so, from the history, but like maybe it's too big. I would expect it to be much larger than that. So like maybe take context from the last 20 commands or something. Function history context what does tail do? I'm scared. I mean, I would say context should be probably history and the most recent 10 commands. I mean, it could also be something like, you know, all the different commands that you used, but like all the unique strings that you used, or maybe the top ones. But let's say that we get 10 most recent commands or something, and okay, so let's source it and say history context. Oh, it gives it I mean, yeah, sure. Let's look at history in fish. So it's a environment variable. Yeah, I mean, sure, fair enough. Maybe something else would be to give it the current directory. So let's do something like build context. Maybe this would be history context, set present working directory, something like that. Set current files, maybe, but I don't know. Like maybe these things would make sense, or just the history. Like that's something we can think about. So let's do like a JSON, right? And maybe have something like this. So this is the history. But would it work though? Build context. The issue is that if it contains, though it doesn't really have to be valid JSON, so let's not do it like JSON. Let's say though it has to be valid JSON. So what does it do? Wow, that's impressive, because it needs to be escaped. Can we escape string or something? String escape. We can escape it. So let's escape. Maybe that's something. No. Oh, it's string escape. String escape. Okay, I mean, I would think more something like that. What if we GQ? Still doesn't work because of the double quote. So yeah, because string. I mean, we want to fish escape quotes in a string. So we can style it. Let's try to style URL. Well, let's string escape style. And maybe let's have something like it doesn't have JSON, right? Like that would be because yeah, we can use URL, but it makes it really ugly. Is it fish escape string for JSON? Or maybe does JQ work with that? JQ escape string. Well, what if we have, let's source it, let's not use anything here. Let's just use this. What if we use JQ and then R? When it doesn't like the quotes, like these especially, I guess. I like how it has all the stuff from us, so but I mean it's not even like he wants to get A. Like, how is that related to anyway? Like why is it the top one? So maybe but yeah, it's more like the string is not valid JSON, that's the point. So I mean the easiest way would be to just replace set history let's see what it's not raw input. And see, oh, it's a raw input, not let's see what happens if we try it like this. Oh, it actually did something, but it's still not valid JSON. Oh, because we wait. Because it was twice. Okay, so now it's fine. But even now, like, yeah, we just need this thing, right, to add into, like, only this. So maybe even then, because we want to add it inside of the, so let's do JQ like this, and now we should have just a string. So if we source it, we should get just the string back. I think it looks like, it looks okay. So let's try to do something like history is this thing. So if we try again, give it a history. Okay, that's good. Let's say recent. Well, let's do a set context, build context, recent commands. Echo data. Let's see if the data looks good. So let's source it and let's open AI chat. I think it doesn't look good. Well, what, it's not escaped anymore. What? I thought that it was escaped. Wait, I want to do build context. No, it's not. Okay, here let's do then dot. And maybe that's it. I mean, it looks a bit better. But I would like to not have the last thing. So let's try to do -r. Doesn't work. I mean, we don't need the. Okay, now get it. So GQ dot. So GQ raw input. Was it raw input? Yeah. Mm-hmm. really interesting. Well, I mean, we can one line it and just do echo like this. Yeah, like the problem would be that it has the starting quotes and the ending quotes. So that's the only thing, and we have row output, we have minus j. And we can try to do it in here. Minus, we can try all the options. Oh no, we no longer have hello. Echo, wow, echo hello world, just to have it. Like it adds extra stuff on. I mean, at least J doesn't add the new line at the end. So we can also have here minus J or something. Well, I'm not sure if that worked though. I think it, yeah, it makes, anyway. Let's see, so we have history, context, I think maybe we can see what that does. Not really what I was hoping. Wait. Oh, it's history context, I forgot. But yeah, I just want to remove the last one. So let's do something like quote. Then we have everything, and then another quote, and then with one. Maybe like that would remove. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever, this works. I no longer care about it. We can also add here the new line or something, but I think we have to do it like this. No. Maybe like this. Yeah, like that. So that also removes the new line at the end. Okay, whatever. Like, it's really scuffed, but we can put it here. I think it should work. So if we do OpenAI chat and we try to JQ, okay, we get something. So now let's undo until we get back to where it was working with this thing. Let's copy it, go back, and let's put it. Okay, so I mean, now the history is pretty destroyed, but more like ls cd. Why would be that? So let's do maybe ls personal. Let's do something like cool compiler. This one it got. Okay, let's do like make. Interesting. Let's do something like this. Not really, you didn't get it. But if we try to, it gives us the help. Like sometimes, like if you, maybe we can increase the context size. So let's try to say here this gets 10 as an argument. So we can change the context size from here. Maybe have something like context size or something, I don't know. Yeah, like default value of 10 or something. So let's resource it. And I guess wait, what? But don't we pass history context? Well, whatever. It's good enough. So it manages to learn from the context size. So we could even say something like 100, but maybe that's too big. So let's stick with, I don't know, 25. The last 25 commands. Now, yeah, the problem with you could respond. Let's say the examples are just to idea what to do. Use the best completion you can think of. Okay, so let's try ls. Yeah, I mean, since we did something on this file, like on this folder, then it gives completions on it, basically. Like, that's the idea. Let's try the man pages. Let's say we want to echo something. We want to pass it to with that null here. Oh, we have to like that. This is the last thing we need to do. Let's try to ask ChatGPT itself. I have a string variable in fish. How can I escape all the quotes in it to make it JSON make it valid in JSON? Oh, you're so smart, aren't you? Well, this doesn't exist. Like we saw it. Where was it? String escape. Maybe it's in string something. Now quoted, what does that do? The simplifying quoted format is not used. Let's redo this thing because okay, I mean we can try that, but does this like uh, like that's the only issue that can appear in JSON? Like that's the nice part of using Python, I guess. You can put any string you want and it does the JSON like JSON what it's called JSON dumps, and that knows how to fix like all your issues basically. Here you have to do it manually. Oh, one idea. What if we actually use Python for that? Like we can call to Python to do JSON dumps, right? Though that basically requires you to have Python installed, but like all Linux OS have Python installed. So we can do like Python -c, and here we have to import this, probably import JSON, and let's say we do JSON dumps. I don't know what that is. We do print JSON dumps, this read, split. Not sure why you need to split it. Anyway, let's source and let's do history context. I mean, it looks escaped, so I think that works. So let's take again this. Oh, and maybe use it. What if we have a function that does that? Let's try to make a function that does this. So function JSON escape string. So it does that, and here we have to pass it to this one. I guess. Let's see if we source it and that because we have to use xargs. Not really. So this is like the argument. So we have to do JSON escape string. Maybe like this. Yeah, right? But it still has that. Oh, because it didn't do the new line. Yeah, now it's fine. So that's how we escape the thing. And here we should also JSON escape string and give it. So now if we echo data and don't look at this, and we call to OpenAI chat, we get something okay-ish. And if we do like hello, well, yeah, because it's not escaped, but if we put it gets escaped, okay, fine. So that works then. So let's source it and let's try to echo hello world. Oh, why isn't it? Oh, I forgot to remove that. Okay, so echo hello world. We pipe it into something, and I forgot to source it again. Weird. I think I forgot to source it. Anyway, let's do echo cat. I don't know what the man cat. What? Oh. Okay, so this works. That's something. Let's see, because I guess the history is cooked. yeah, like some well, yeah, now we also provide the context and we fixed the problem with escaped strings. Although, yeah, it's yeah, I mean, I don't really make a Python script because that would require you to have OpenAI installed, and like that's me. I mean, it's easier to just use curl, but formatting the body of the request, that's the thing that's a bit difficult. So maybe a script that just gives you the formatted body would be nice, but I mean, we can do with that. Well, actually, we can history context can be just the history, like this, and we can escape string the system prompt. We can try to do that. Like this. We also need a parenthesis. So we can also have that. Oh, not in the right place. Source. And if we do echo hello world and then interesting. Yeah, like this works too, right? Because I mean, this is just the history and this is how we escape it. Yeah, so I mean, pretty happy with this thing. It pretty much does the job, and it's like what 30 lines of code. And yeah, I mean, we have completions, right? Like, we can like based, I guess, on the last few commands, and we use 25 commands. It gets a context, and then it just gives you suggestions for what to do. Yeah, I mean, even more context would be nice, but like the question is where to pretty much draw the line, right? Like 25 comments from history is, I mean, it has to be similar to GitHub Copilot, right, for the text editor. And I think that the history is what it actually needs, not really the output of the comments, although that would be nice too. But maybe that's too much, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, let's see some more suggestions. Like, sure, fair enough. Sometimes it can get it, sometimes not. Let's see if we try to source. I mean, sure. Can you do something with this comment? I don't think so. So yeah, I mean, of course, if you have like more complex commands in the history, it will catch onto them and try to give you the stuff. So yeah, I mean, pretty much we managed to get the fish pilot, as I called it, Copilot for fish, and yeah, it gives suggestions, and I guess it's decent for its goal. So pretty happy with the results, and yeah, See you on the next one.